Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Welcome back to an experimental episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
And I'm Tommy.
Today we're doing something a little different, so bear with us. If it's something you enjoy, please let us know down in the comments. Maybe you could be a contributor of a video on a next episode. Today we're doing like some shorts and reels that we've collected. Me and Tommy have an extensive fucking years and
Like
years
an
and hours and
archive,
hours
dude.
of videos and bullshit that we send back and forth. So I don't know. We just found some stuff that was just more recent. We didn't even do too much looking. Tommy did more looking than me.
They
but
kind of blend together pretty good, though. There is a pretty strong theme. I think
Yeah.
you guys will take note of that, but
Yeah.
just kind of want to try and see if we can do something new. I mean, there's a lot of videos that get put out all the time, and it feels like sometimes we might be a little behind on some things
we'll do
because
some-
of how our release schedule is, but like maybe this is a way to kind of bridge a little bit of a gap or something, or maybe it's just fun. Maybe you guys will just like listening to some of the crazy shit other people are saying and having us like filter it, whatever
Right.
it is, whatever it is.
reaction, interpretation, explanation.
Yeah, just let us know.
And before we get going, I got a good comment the other day and a solid question, so I want to go over that. One of our viewers asks, Tommy's account of misreading signals as divine messaging is interesting. She's referencing our episode about, I forget which
Which
episode.
one was that? I can't remember the title of it, but I do
Yeah.
remember the exact discussion.
Let me
I
look.
do remember.
Let me pull up which episode.
Who's
it
saying
was real
that?
quick. Yeah, I'll start over. That was the Trump's meeting with China, Mandela effects, and AI episode. So episode 35.
Episode 35, okay.
So Fiza asks, really appreciate this episode, guys. Tommy's account of misreading signals as divine messaging is interesting. She's referencing from our episode 35 when we were talking about like Mandela effects and stuff. How does one differentiate a message from God versus a distraction that strays you further away from God?
That is a mega fantastic question that I am also like trying to get to the bottom of myself. I think it's probably one of the most important questions you could really ask, because it's hard to know unless you gotta test it, right? Like, isn't that what people say? They say you
Right.
gotta test the spirits.
Yeah.
You gotta test it. So you have to be able to put time in between these signs and any decisions you're gonna make. And you gotta get into a dialogue with God. You gotta be able to ask, hey, is this from you? And then maybe you gotta open up the good book a little bit and do some reading on some pertinent information. And I mean, if you test it properly enough, you should be able to get your answer. Sometimes it's not the answer you want. And I think that's another level of the difficulty when it comes to spiritual discernment that I'm working through personally, because
Yeah.
I pray daily, like multiple times a day. I'm praying, trying to figure out what the right move is for myself, even though I know the right moves. I know them, but I'm still praying about things. I'm still praying about discernment, trying to get into a dialogue with God and with Jesus Christ. All I know is that we know the things of the Spirit by the fruit they bear. We know the things of the Spirit by the fruit they bear. The fruit that came from some of the signs that I got before, very, very mixed bag, but ultimately very, very ouchies. So I would have to say that during that case specifically, I mean,
Like
probably should have followed some of those
there was
things.
some red flags, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
And like
Um,
things that are God sent wouldn't be like even like at the littlest bit stricken with red flags.
yeah, yeah.
Like it would be free of
There's
them.
there's a weird thing that happens in the brain of a schizophrenic though, where you start to think that like even bad things are sent by God. You're like, all things are because of God, right? That's the idea that ends up popping into your head. And ultimately, yes, all things are because of God, but does that mean that God wants to see you hurt because he's
Right,
trying to forge you into a stronger soldier? I
right.
don't think so. I don't think so. I think that you can make mistakes and that ultimately the reclamation of
Yeah.
your soul and of your character in the eyes of God is going to come from making the stand back up.
Well, and also like the wages of sin are death. So
Yep.
if you even unwittingly are doing something that to and again to me sin is equal to away from God, right? So if you are doing something that is leading you away from God, then you are going to find yourself in chaos, in
Yep.
retribution of that. You know, those actions will have consequences. And away from God consequences are not good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no it's really tough because it can really wreak havoc on like your soul really. Your like essence.
Yeah, that's the
Um
problem with it is like when you're on this path, if you don't know, then you can end up,
in the
deceived
weeds.
and you don't really realize until you hit a new rock bottom. You hit a fucking low where you're like, oh shit, I need to get my shit together. Maybe what I was following wasn't the right way. And that's kind of, what happened with me is through my problems. We'll get into our problems in a different episode.
I think
But
that it's crazy, dude. Like a lot of people have the same
oh
type of
yeah.
thing,
Oh
right?
yeah.
We all have our issues, and I think that's the way that people can sympathize is
Right.
I mean, we all got things going on.
Right. But through my addiction, I thought I still had a really strong connection with God. I still prayed to every day. I still talked to God every day. But like I would bargain for
Yeah.
like success in my addiction with God. Like God just like hook me up. And like that's not God's not going to help me succeed there, So who am I praying to for one? And then also I realized after I started to get clean and I was like actually reaching out and strengthening my connection with God that like where I was not with God. I wasn't actually following him. I was following my own way. So
Yep.
I think that's like the first part is you got to know what God's way is. So you got to read your Bible. You got to have an idea of who God is and what God wants for you. And then you have to put your desires, your will, your way to the side. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean you can't follow it at all. That doesn't mean it has to completely go to the trash, but it needs to go to the side for God's will and God's way. And you need to follow that. And the only
Ben.
way to know that is to read the Bible and to pray and to listen. And I don't think you'll be led
I
astray.
think that that question is so good.
Yeah.
Good question,
Yeah.
Lisa. Fantastic question. That is a journey of an answer though. And I mean, I hope we all get to really get to the bottom of that one, but you had a pretty good explanation there, Dave. That was pretty good. Pretty good.
I think you did too. All right. Well, we'll get into some videos here.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So this is a submission from Tommy. He wanted to add this one to the episode, so we'll check this one
A
out.
lot of mine that I posted in for today have a lot of I don't know. I've been diving into the like spiritual side a little bit.
I mean, shout out the Confessionals. The Confessionals
Yeah.
podcast is really freaking good.
They're very, very good. They have they've been doing shit for a long time over there too, Tony. He's pretty sweet thing he's got going on over there.
And they're good shepherds of the Lord. You know, I haven't heard him
Yes.
say anything that I really disagree with.
No, he's in, dude. He's definitely a good guy. He's a God-fearing man.
Is a term that I learned in the demonic realm called legal right. The entire demonic kingdom is obsessed with this term. You'll find men and women on earth who practice volleyball, basketball, football, and they get good at that. Somebody who's well known in the demonic kingdom is someone who's versed in a term called legal right. So the better that they understand the word of God and the heart of God to cause someone to sin against it is what's legal right. God said don't. When you do, there's repercussions. Not because God's just angry and mad, but it's for the safety of his kingdom, for the well-being of a man. There's repercussions to disobeying God. The devil has obsessed over this. So you can imagine the man with legion of demons in him. What things did that man do to allow those demons to possess him in such a way? And Satan has wrapped this up into a ritual, a 5-point major defilement pentagram ritual. I call it pentagram because the way it's always been shown to me is the upside down star with the circle around it. I've been shown how each point of that represents 5 major folds of defilement. That circle to Satan is an open door into a man, right? So all of humankind is constantly trying to go to the spiritual realm. It's all a distraction while Satan manifests through mankind into this reality. And that defilement ritual will open a man up. It's worship of self, false God worship, sorcery, which I've been shown is anything from addictive foods, chemical compounds, physical addictions, and using pharmakia or foods or poisons to open someone up spiritually or control them. That is what I've been taught by demons is sorcery. And then the next thing would be exalting, using, and practicing magic. I have some really deep thoughts on this in Revelation, but if you can't accept that, just the way that we've been glorifying magic through, say, the Disney Channel alone is enough to understand it. When you study Crowley, Crowley constantly was in this same pattern in his rituals, getting women addicted to drugs, right? Practicing magic with them, worshiping themselves, worshiping these false gods from Egypt, right? It's all relies around this ritual. And the last thing is sex, lust, and trauma. So that's this 5-point major pentagram ritual I have been taught over and over and over exceeds all the boundaries of the legal right Satan needs to possess a man or a nation or a people. You have it.
Now, him going into the pentagram thing, that you can kind of take or leave, whatever you want. But like the majority,
I would say most people, but that first statement, like the first part for sure, is what everybody needs to latch on to.
Yes. Yeah. There's a massive spiritual law course. I truly feel that a lot of these dark occultists we talk about this stuff constantly. Yeah, the world is run by dark occultist fucking magicians, dog.
These
wizards, and they go into pacts with demons, and like you gotta understand know the how the law works. Demons. Yeah.
It's like when you watch freaking Supernatural, man. Like they have binding laws, they have contracts, they have ways that they work by. And you do need to understand it because it's not, like you said, it's not because God's feelings are hurt. It's not because he's, like it does say in the Bible, he's a jealous God. But like the things that he does is not purely out of jealousy. It's not just wrathful for the sake of wrathful. It's not just I told you so, and I'm gonna make you pay for it if you don't. You know, there is a reason, and it's because there is a war between good and evil, and things need to happen a certain way for his plan to be done, and for evil to pay eternally, and for there to be heaven on earth, and for all these things to happen that you want to happen. You want evil to fail, right? Like, you're mad that things aren't a certain way. Well, if you want them to be that way, they need to happen God's way.
There's like, everybody knows that saying, like, things have been set into motion.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a thing that's like perpetrated throughout like all forms of media. Like, you hear that type of stuff a lot too in like Disney-ish type movies or like kid type movies, that like the bad guy will say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's because that's an actual thing. Like, things are set into motion, like have been for a long time. The dominoes are still falling from that. Like, there's like an order to God's kingdom. There's chaos happening. There's, for certain things happening, there has to be an appropriate response. There has to be. And it's not even like, I don't even necessarily think that has to be an intentional thing by God. Like he's got a magnifying glass on you. Like, that's not it. That's not it. It's kind of like, this is God's kingdom already. Like, the entire creation is God's. And then it got corrupted in this little area. He's got it contained, and like trying to pick the good out of that shit, picking the weeds,
Right.
and taking the harvest. That's what's happening. And then eventually they're just gonna wipe that fucking little field off the map and start it anew, start it better. But what's one of the highest paying jobs? Like, highest paying, one you got to go to school for. There's a lot of prestige in it. It can take you to all forms of the world.
I don't know. Not being a doctor. I don't know.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
The law.
Yeah, the law. I forgot
The
we're talking
lawyers-
about law.
Yeah, dude. Lawyers. That shit is like probably one of the more underrated, but also appropriately like mirrored in this like material realm.
Mhm.
There's a reason that there's so much value wrapped up in being a lawyer.
Right.
And like in the spiritual world, it's just as valuable. Just as valuable.
All right, we got
Again,
another one. 700 people sucked into a UFO. A psychic has predicted a mothership will appear over a Miami sporting event to abduct 700 people. This comes after recent UFO sightings in Brazil.
See, now, dude, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the skies, and I don't know necessarily if it's even true.
Right, so much of it could be AI.
It's so, dude, the lines for that type of
And like,
thing
I've
is
been
so
looking up.
blurred.
Don't look up. Whatever you do, don't look up. I've been looking up more often, and I don't see really anything super crazy. I've been seeing some shooting stars pretty often. You see a lot of satellites. I see a lot of planes and drones, but my baby is locked onto the birds. Like, I don't know how she does. Like, it seems like she's always looking down, and then all of a sudden, boom, bird. It's like, how do you notice every single bird? You're only a year and a half old, not even.
Motion. She sees like quick motion from the birds, and it's just like, boom, she's like instantly tracking it. And
all right,
they're colorful too.
Let's check out this UFO. Oh no,
it's not a real UFO.
Claiming now, and
this is
all of you been made
AI.
aware of the psychic in Brazil that is claiming now, and I actually believe her, that this month at a very large sporting event,
that was
a
100%
mothership is
AI.
going to appear over top of said sporting event in Miami. And in that moment, full disclosure and the reality that interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, aliens exist will be confirmed, because this mothership, she is claiming, this psychic in Brazil is claiming that 700 people, including players at this event, will be sucked up in the air into the spacecraft. Now, if you're also not aware, there have been hundreds of videos coming out of Brazil over the past week and a half of motherships and UAPs hovering above their country.
Listen, a lot of people are taking her to task, and she's actually going on interviews and showing people her record of being correct. I don't know, 700 people in Miami at the FIFA game. Y'all better go in there and hide while you're watching the game, or just don't show up at all, because you might not make it back home. Ciao.
All of you been made aware.
Ciao.
Dude, like,
I don't know.
The rapture? Is that
See,
really
like-
are we false flagging the rapture here?
No,
Like, what is that?
Unless you have it done everywhere, like that's not even close to a rapture. I don't need a psychic from Brazil to tell me what I've already predicted, which is
Yeah.
that they're gonna do a false alien event to try to
Yeah,
bring
literally.
people on to the next stage of this. It will be a false alien event. Definitely, they could be capable of sucking up a stadium full of people. You know, they have the ability to build the stadiums to help them do that. Like, it doesn't even need to be entirely a UAP, UFO scenario. Like, yeah, they could have an advanced tech flying device, some sort of alien UAP that we don't know about that could just beam everybody up, Scotty. But more than likely, it would be some sort of rigged event like 9/11 to make it look like something that it isn't.
Yeah.
Like they
There's also like, have you been hearing the stuff about the tunnels have been like
yeah,
very populated lately.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff going on in the tunnels underneath cities, and the
They
tunnels all
pulled-
over the place.
they pulled a bunch of I think it was like 70 female students out of a tunnel. I forget
Yep.
where. I want to say New York City, but don't hold me
Yep.
to it. I forget where. And then there was a riot somewhere else where they pulled a bunch of Jews out of tunnels.
Yep.
Again, I want to say New York City, so maybe I'm getting the two stories conflated, but
Now, what did we talk about before in like our Atlantis episode, right? This idea of parallel civilizations that could be like
living
on Earth with
underground,
us and stuff.
living underground, living under the water.
I don't know, man. There's like a growing segment of myself that is starting to fall into this idea that could be real, like an actual thing. They're actually taking a bunch of people, human trafficking them to these underground like cities that exist. That nobody goes underground. Nobody goes underground, dude. There's only like few people out of the vast majority of people that are like going underground and surveying shit, and like the people that are doing it legally are the people that have certain blueprints, certain paths they take, and don't go down this area and they don't go down that area, right? So you can hide shit. You can actually hide shit from those people. And then the people that aren't supposed to be down there, they're the ones that end up disappearing. So it's like, we're not getting anywhere with this as far as could there be something going on down there a little bit more than what we're like privy to. Is it just fucking sewers and like cable areas and like what are the subway systems?
Oh, there's
shit
no
like
way that it can be, because it's just more extensive than anybody even knows.
Yeah, dude.
Like there's
like,
gotta be
crazy.
There's gotta be stuff down there.
And
Again, we got no
with all
proof.
these
We got
people-
nothing. We got nothing to prove that there's anything down there. But
Yeah.
it really would make sense that would be the how they're building this up, like how they're making it happen, because you don't have room for an entire other class of people anywhere else, unless you've got underwater bunkers, underground bunkers.
Big
But
cab,
that's
like
how you could
caverns.
stage. That's how you could stage an alien invasion.
Absolutely. And like with all of that activity popping up, like recently, like very recently, these tunnels have been ablaze. People have been fucking popping up out of nowhere, and there's a lot of talk about the tunnels, and it's because there's movement, there's things happening. So are these mole people coming to the surface
No,
to start fucking
I haven't-
triggering the UFO crap?
That's the thing, is they're not mole people. So like,
I know, but I'm just
what-
calling them the mole people. 'cause they're
why are they being found in the tunnels though? Is the thing. Like, surface dwellers occupying the tunnels for what reason? It's
I mean,
like,
you got like the homeless and stuff that like
I've-
hang
I've-
out down there and stuff.
I've heard
but-
videos of people defending why they were in the tunnels in New York City before, when everybody was freaking out about the Jews in the tunnels back then, a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Like, they literally were saying they were doing sacrifices down there. That's why there was
Yeah.
blood stains on that bed.
Yep.
All right,
What do we got for the next one?
So this is MS Now doing a report on
Miss Now?
Yeah, Miss Now doing a report on how does Epstein still continue to pay his bills, even though
Yeah,
he's dead?
This is crazy.
So, check this shit.
When we were probing her about whether or not she received additional payments outside of her normal salary working for Jeffrey Epstein, she said that her legal fees were paid out of a fund that Jeffrey Epstein set up through his estate after he died. And so even in death, Jeffrey Epstein is still paying the legal fees of people who are witnesses in this case against him.
Bro, this shit is nuts. These billionaire class people, they have systems set up to just funnel cash. Even when they're dead, they've just got automatic cash coming into their estate.
Yeah.
It's like
it replenishes itself.
Self-sustaining money thing. Yeah.
The money is so big that it just makes more money on its own. Interest rates.
It's fucking insane.
7%. What's 7% of billions? What's 7% of a billion?
A lot. Dude, like what? This has got me thinking now. How many super rich billionaires over the past, let's say, 100 years have had like legal documents, their estate bound up in them, and have like self-replicating / like fulfilling like maybe businesses or ventures or nonprofits or who knows, right? You've got these funds that could just be dishing out cash that are from some dude fucking 50 years ago that died. He had $1 billion and just freaking dishing cash out to people and to like organizations, keeping them afloat. That's freaking nuts.
This is a video that I wanted to play in one of our previous episodes that really shows just how fucking crazy CPUs are making that silicon chip. So
sigil-based freaking tech.
Yeah, this is like the full. I don't know if we need the audio. This is like the full zoom out from like. I don't even know if this is as close you can get. There might even be more detailed mapping at a lower level than this.
120 nanometers.
Oh, 100%.
That's just 400 copper atoms lined up in a row. This is the width of the tracks you see in this video. I put a cramp of a 20-year-old CPU under an electron microscope to show.
Okay, so that's a 20-year-old CPU. This isn't even a modern one. So they've gotten better.
With the scale of this engineering miracle. Then I dropped a single grain of flower pollen on top. It is so massive, it covers hundreds of tracks at once. I can guarantee you won't find this kind of footage anywhere else on the internet. And now for the crazy part. This is the actual size of that CPU cramp on my fingertip.
Like that freaking microscope view is crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's complete freaking sorcery.
Oh, shit.
As far as I'm concerned, that is witchcraft.
We're gonna have to play that one next. This is
I don't know, man.
I mean, go back and watch our video about AI and about the witchcraft, about magic.
Yeah.
Because I do think that the way that this tech works, especially the making of those silicon chips, like the people that make them don't even understand how they're made. You have to be like a master craftsman of this specifically. And those guys that make them, they'll tell you that like they understand the process of how to do it.
Yes.
They don't understand how it's working.
Yes. Dude, I like
that in and of itself is sorcery.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me that nobody on the planet can do it except for these guys, and these guys that do it don't even know how it works. They're just doing it.
Dude. It's really akin to like alchemy, like early alchemy, where they had no idea. They're just throwing things together, and like all of a sudden they figure out that this thing and this thing just make this reaction. They don't understand what the fuck is going on. They have no idea. They're just like, I can produce this thing, and it's like it smells really weird, and it like strips paint off of things. Other than that, I don't know what else is going on here. Magic. That's freaking technology.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
So this is a little video of some elite people with some dark, dark things to say.
Oh, I know this guy.
Humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
To set up the goals for the next 5 years, and one of them was by 2023 we will.
Let's actually take this one by one.
And substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
So he's saying in countries with declining populations, which is our country, just so you know.
Yeah. It's like, most of the first world countries right now are in a population decline, while third world countries are outproducing us like crazy.
What's the rate? 1.9, 1.7 is what you're supposed to
1.75 is what it's supposed to be.
That's how you are.
2.0 is what it's really supposed to be, but like you can get away with 1.75.
Isn't it like anybody below 1.75 is like failing? And we're below it.
Like total failure is on the horizon if that does not get corrected within like a decade.
Right. So he's saying replacing the human population, the working population, with robots, with technology, will be easier in countries like ours. So expect that.
Yep. That was like the goal the entire time, right? We're not seeing negative population effects because we are no, dude, we're seeing negative population effects because they want a technologically advanced, like techno prison, totalitarian as fucking society.
And they want to lie to you and say we're overpopulated.
Yes. And then control our population through crazy shit and then sell us robots to fix the problem.
Actually, I was just at this, I was down in Pennsylvania. And I was in this town that should have been, in my opinion, more populated than what I was experiencing. This town was way more immaculate, way bigger, way nicer than where I come from. But there was about a quarter of the amount of people. And it's like, how is this working? How is this getting paid for? Like, where are the people? And I'm like, maybe it's just because I'm like in the middle of the day, but I ended up throughout the week going out at all times and never really saw anybody. It was kind of crazy. Like how little people there was in this town that was, I would have expected 4 times as much people, but there's a quarter.
People just stay inside, bro.
Maybe. That's what I was thinking. Maybe everybody's just so loaded that they don't go outside.
15-minute cities are going to be
popular. They're going to be popular. I don't want to go anywhere.
They're going to make people, dude, you will eat the bugs.
Especially if you don't have to work and you don't have to like make an income. Why not just stay home? They're providing
automatic money.
Yeah, they're providing you video games and TV and books and whatever you want.
Social interaction through social media. That's your mediary now.
Well, if you want to your 15-minute city has a communal area where you can hang out with anybody in the whole city. It's a short walk to the park, but you only get to meet who's in your city.
Millimeter of space is bugged. So your communal meeting area, like, will allow you to meet up, but it is not going to be private. Privacy does not exist in these cities. You will be watched and you will sign off for it because that's how you get paid. We just take your data. And that's how you make money.
Yeah, you don't get to live in the city if you don't. Like everybody is going to want to live in the city because it's
you're
going to be
allowed
destitute
credits
outside of it. It's going to be like every dystopian movie you've ever seen. All right, next fucking elite fucking quote unquote elite. These are fucking evil fuckers.
To set up the goals for the next 5 years, and one of them was by 2023 we will reduce the number of people in the world by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming reality.
So that was World Economic Forum. They said their goal by 2023 was to reduce the population of the world. Presumably, he didn't specify. It's the World Economic Forum. Decrease the population of the world by 50%. And they think they achieved it. And everybody applauds. Everybody applauds. Oh, we're so glad that you decreased the population by 50%. That means half the people in the world died.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that-
no, it doesn't. That's not what that means. Because how these people like
it's
to.
Also like you didn't reproduce. You're not going to reproduce.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
It's those things. It's not that fit. So he can say shit like that. He can say, "Oh, 50% of the population is reduced by 2023. I think we achieved that." We all know that 1 out of 2 people hasn't fucking died yet. We do know that a shit ton of people have died and are actively dying. And then we also know that all of the major fucking population centers on Earth, other than third world countries, are experiencing population free falls.
Yeah.
So
the younger generations are not having kids.
Is that 50% of the world's population right now is under complete control. Like, they will be gone. There will be, like, we have what we need to lower the population now for the future. There are a shit ton of people that will not be making babies.
Yeah. And
a bunch of people that are going to die from crazy, weird fucking medical shit that's never been seen before. Just going to be happening. Crazy freaking clots that freaking span your entire arm. It's like insane.
Having kids is like why we're here. Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes. No, like that's the ultimate fact of life. It truly is. There's like more that you can get out of life, yeah, but children are it. They really are.
And knowing God. Having kids, knowing God, and leading your kids to God. I think that's it. And if you can't have kids, that's okay. Try to lead somebody else to God.
Dude, what is that except the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, just reflected in reality?
Yeah.
Father, being a parent, Son, having children, Holy Spirit, knowing God.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, I think so.
That's it.
All right, next fuckhead.
Reality.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air
Reduce
and
population.
drink clean water.
First, we've got population.
She just said it again. I'm not even going to give her a second. She just is on the population reduction bandwagon. Bill Gates, he's the.
Can we just say how unsufferable that woman is?
Yeah, she's
dude,
it's
crazy.
pretty terrible, huh?
Pretty awful.
And Bill Gates complaining
the world
about
today
all the people.
has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
That's it.
So how are you gonna depopulate everybody?
By having a very sturdy vaccination program.
Yeah. New vaccines and reproductive health services. So when you see things like Planned Parenthood, or all these new birth control pills, they're sterilizing you. They don't want you to have kids. And then the vaccination 100% is sterilizing people. They can't have children. And then on top of that, health services, the gender confirmation health services, where we're going to cut off and mutilate your genitals, and then, have good luck having a cut child after that.
We are not medical experts and are not offering medical advice.
No.
This is for entertainment purposes only.
No.
Thank you.
Just giving my opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion. Freedom of speech. This is America. Fuck y'all.
Literally.
Hope you're entertained.
Dude, Bill Gates, just recently, this actually warmed the cockles of my heart.
He was attacked.
He was attacked in his vehicle. He was swarmed by a mob.
Yeah.
And they had to get him the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And it's literally, you know what's hilarious?
He's been attacked
uncle
before.
And I have been talking about this for like a long time now.
Yeah.
Like since like right around the pickup of the Shmamemic. Literally, we were talking about Fauci, Bill Gates, all these guys. It's like if I ever saw them in the streets, I mean, you can assume what we said. You can assume what we said, and it's just fantastic to zoom forward a few years and to see that they are having a rough time moving about.
The thing is, like, they're so deep in our brains that, like, I would ape out. I'd shit in my hand and make him eat it.
Nuts.
Like,
I would go nuts if I saw that dude in real life. I would go absolutely
like you best
insane.
have a lot of
gone.
security.
I'd be gone. That would be like rabid development.
Going to jail forever.
It would be insane. Yeah.
Psychotic institution.
We could just plead insanity, right? Temporary
What
insanity.
do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
In substitute.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy is like the most evil nerd that we have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Like, that is the most evil geek out
What's
there.
his name? Yuval Harari.
Yeah, figures. Freaking crazy European shit.
So, like, that is the plan. That's what they call the goy slop, you know? Your drugs, your video games, your TV,
Dude.
your fast food.
It's so effective. It's fucking
like
crazy.
When you see that, like, oh, the rich people just, they eat well and they exercise and they have this and they have that and we don't have that. Like, there's a reason we don't have that. It's not just because they're rich. It's not just because those things are expensive. It's because that's how you're supposed to be living, and they've tricked us into living the way that we live.
There's a reason that we idolize people like that when we are living in our base existence as humans, when we're not fed properly, we're not feeding ourselves properly, when we're not exercising, when we're not living fulfilling, enriching lives, if we don't have deep purpose in us, then we start living this base shitty existence frequency, and that's when we start looking at other human beings as a higher power. We start looking to other human beings as idols. And that's exactly what happens with these elite. They get to live these lives where they're able to find a purpose and follow it, like population decline. They can literally dedicate themselves to that at a young age and have all of the resources, access to all the information, and access to people that are also in the same league as them, and just to make it fucking happen. Like, we just keep idolizing these people because we are broken down, intentionally beaten to shit, and they look like they're doing so much better, and it's because they kind of are. Their souls might be rotten as fuck, but like, they've got the energy to go fucking rounds. they just meet up freaking in the middle of the night and plot fucking demises, dog.
Right.
Like, when we are doing that, we're like, we need our 8 hours.
Yeah,
always tired.
Living like that, it does something to you, and it's because the way that we're living now it's evil. It's wrong. It's cursed.
We're always tired, bro.
It's not meant for us. And these things that we engage with are not meant for us, and there's a reason they don't engage with them. You know?
Yep. Dude, I've noticed reels are fucking nuts. Shorts are crazy.
Yeah,
they're definitely
a straight
form
up
of
drug.
addiction.
It's a straight up drug. So much dopamine and endorphins and everything else.
It'll replace hobbies. It'll replace other hobbies that were like a big deal to you, and then all of a sudden it's like you don't do them enough times, and you watch enough fucking your algorithm just dials into a really good level for a couple days. Next thing you know, you haven't done your hobby.
Next thing you know, you started a podcast and you're making
hours.
your own reels because you just want to watch
literally.
more reels. You want to see you want to see yourself in a reel so bad,
dude. That's so fucking funny. That's crazy.
I'm not that addicted to reels. That's not why I do this.
No.
All right, check this shit out.
Ago, showcasing the CIA's ability to track and trace and surveil. This is before Palantir. Could you imagine how advanced it is now? Especially considering the word on the street is that every year that we advance technologically,
just follow a car, you
in
follow
public,
the person.
like decades worth of advancement happens behind the scenes. I think some of their new surveillance tech involves frequencies. And it's amazing how much surveillance they can have, yet there's still so many bad guys out there, and in fact, rings and organizations of them. Crazy that they can't stop them. This video.
Yeah.
So like,
no, it's because they don't want to stop them. They're a wing.
Yeah,
They're a wing of the bird.
I don't know how old the video behind him is, like the CIA's capability, how far back this video dates.
That was 9/11 era.
Yeah, right. He's saying it's before Palantir, you know,
Yep,
so that's
it was 9/11 era.
at least a solid little bit. And again, think of what they have now. Think of how much capability they have now, that they are so much, everybody else is so much more tapped into the internet, to the system, to this web of social media and Ring doorbell cameras and electric vehicles and super duper smartphones where your location's turned on and tracked through every single fucking app. Like, that we're just living in this web where they want to be able to surveil and control every little thing you do. And right now, yeah, there's no detrimental harm to your every day-to-day life, right? That's because this isn't it. This isn't the end game. They're building the thing, they're priming it, they're getting it ready to be implemented. This is the very first step, and nobody's rebelling against it. Nobody's saying, no, we can't do this anymore because we can see what the fuck they're doing, but nobody wants to stop them.
It is 2026 right now, and a lot of these data centers that are being built right now, they are going to be complete relatively quick. Like, they're not going to be like 10-year constructions.
Right.
They're not even going to be 5-year constructions, dude. They're going to dump so much money and manpower into the construction of all of these data centers. We got probably 3 years before they start coming online. 2 years for some of them. Some of them are going to be done very quickly. Very, very quickly. Because of how much money and how influential that their construction will be to this next phase of things. They're going to be very, very important. They are very, very important. There's the Big Beautiful Bill initiative that has been just siphoning cash and throwing it into the development of these things. Like, it's an initiative by our federal government for national security to build these data centers. We're in a Cold War with other nations that are enemy nations. So this is when these things start popping up, like, the next 2 years are so fucking critical. It's nuts. And I really hate to say it because it makes me sound like a Debbie Downer, and people like their hopium. And I like my hopium too. But we aren't gonna do fucking shit about it, dude. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna keep us asleep long enough, distracted long enough, start up a war over here, a scandal over here, fucking fake another election here. Maybe they'll even make a fucking spaceship come down and suck up 700 people. Like, there's just so many ways that they could just distract us and have us not fortified, that by the end of those 3 years, when those come online, that's they're prepping us for that. So we've got about a good 2 years to, like, put up a fight. You try to put up a fight. It's been written, bro. It's been written.
Here's another example of how they will implement more control, more surveillance.
And it's come to my attention that there are several flock cameras installed around our town. My resources count over 30 of them, and I have graphics showing where they are, and I can pass them around to the guests here tonight so they can see where these cameras are. These cameras utilize AI to track you and your family when you're out in public. They run by a company, Palantir. This company claims that they just record movement of vehicles and they will reduce the crime rate to 0. However, people much more educated than I on these cameras have proven this to be false when speaking to their city councils. They do not monitor where you drive, but they also monitor where you walk, what you do, what you say, what's on your phone when you walk by, and they spy on you all the time. Today I walked around and I noticed the one down by the bridge was pointed towards the courtyard and the field, not towards any roads. So why would it be pointed towards the river, not towards the streets, if it's just to monitor vehicles?
Yeah.
Also, in order to bring the crime rate down to zero, they would need to be able to predict crime before it happens. And I think that that is a slippery slope. Some cities are discussing adding this AI to police body cameras, which would be constantly monitored by an AI, which would make a judgment call about releasing drones, also controlled by this AI. Again, I see as a very slippery slope, along with the military drones that we've seen used over in Iran and in Ukraine. That is not my biggest problem with these, though. The owner of Palantir, Peter Thiel, is a man mentioned in the Epstein files over 2,200 times, making him the fourth most mentioned individual in the files. He accepted $40 million that we know about from Epstein. The victims of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were human sex trafficked, reported almost all members consisting of high-profile and ultra-wealthy individuals, and they witnessed murders, ritual sacrifice, and cannibalism of infants, that being the consumption of human flesh and blood. They used code words for their victims, like pizza, jerky, and grape soda. I have a hard time believing that any human being could do something so evil. This is something that I would be told in a story about vampires. And I don't know about you, but I think that vampires are meant for campfires. They are supposed to be a mythological being, and they're not supposed to be real, and definitely should not be in charge of the security and safety of our city. I believe that any decent person would say no to giving up their safety and security to someone with such little value of a human life, let alone a potential ultra-wealthy pedophilic vampire in the Epstein files. And
bro, all right, that I have a video that will play after we're done talking about this. Right on the same, dude. It'll pick up perfectly where that guy left off and go into that idea.
Where is that?
It's freaking fantastic. It's in the Discord. It's labeled "Vampires, Parasites, Demonic Entities, Possession, Drawing Connections."
All right, we're gonna listen to that one.
But let's hit the flock camera shit first.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So that is insane.
Yep.
Truly insane.
Yep.
That's Skynet, dog.
Yeah.
We got Skynet just hard launching.
It's being implemented in Canada right now. Some cities are implementing it in the US, and it is fully implemented in China. China's system, they literally call Skynet. It is in Chinese, it translates to Skynet. And
yes,
China
Skynet
already has it. It's how their social credit score system works. It's how their communist government keeps control over every single individual, locks them down into their homes, into their 15-minute cities. It's already set up.
None of them speak out. None of them do a thing against it because then they don't have enough money to buy bread the next day.
Yeah,
it's freaking insane. They'll have freaking AI judges sending them up freaking tickets for if they, I don't know, dropped a plastic fork on accident when they were walking down the street. They get a freaking AI judge just calling them up. But I've also been seeing videos. Now this is where hopium comes in, and it really scratches an itch for me. This dude, he was going around, and I'm not saying that anybody should do this. I'm not saying that any human being should do such a thing because it is
the British
highly
dude's
illegal.
cutting down the cameras.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's
and
like
he has
Canadians or British.
stickers that he's going around to all of the flock cameras, and he's slapping a sticker on them that says, "Do not cut right here." And with a circular saw.
Yeah.
It's what it says. And then every single one that he's done that to, he comes back in a day or two, and it is cut exactly where that is. So somebody is like following behind him, cutting them all down where it says "Don't cut here."
I have a feeling it's him, just so
Dude,
he can
if
make
it-
his videos.
I mean, bro, if it is him, I love that human
But
being.
no, we don't
That
support
is-
vandalism.
I
Submit
don't support
to the AI
vandalism.
rulers.
I support good human beings. And
Yeah.
I think outside of his vandalism,
He's a good human.
he is a fantastic human being
Yep.
and exemplary.
So
Exemplary.
on top of it being not just a traffic and crime surveillance device technology, whatever you want to call it, on top of that, it is to surveil you. I wish we have the videos here, but it can see your face, register your face, instantly log your ID. It can see your phone, what you're looking at on your phone. It can probably connect to your phone and see what you've been doing, where you've been, what you've been shopping for, everything you've been looking at. And it's going to report everything back to the government because Palantir is partnering with the government. It is contracted with the government right now.
Yep.
And like when Elon stepped out, Palantir was what stepped in. And
you know what's so crazy is that Peter freaking Thiel talks about the Antichrist and does seminars on him too.
Yes, he apart from this AI and his technology, his number one hobby is studying the Antichrist.
Dude,
and
come on.
When he was asked in an interview if the human race should continue, he stammered and paused
for a while.
Over 12 seconds. He's like, well, actually,
that's a good question.
And then never answered the question, actually, went on to something else. So he is a proprietor of moving us on to this next generation, which is techno-humanity or just AI straight up taking over the world.
Transhumanism.
Like he wants to replace us. He wants us to, evolve into the next thing, be transhuman. And that's not that's not transgender, that's transhuman. So that's human along with something else, which what is
there's cyborg or there's parts there's Mr. Potato Head.
Well, they're saying you sent me that video, like maybe I can pull it up about the plasmoids. Like what if what if they want you to be transhuman plasmoid? They even got you believing
we're already
God,
a plasmoid.
But what if they were like, oh, this is it. This is God. Here you go. Have some plasmoid in your body. You'd eat that shit right up. You'd be like, yep, I think plasma's God.
I already have plasma in my body. No, that would be akin to an mRNA vaccine to me.
Remember fucking...
that's an mRNA vax.
What is that?
That's rewriting your God-given code, which is your God-given plasma. No, you ain't rewriting my God-given plasma or my God-given DNA. Get out of here with that shit. I'll resist it at all cost.
And also, yes, very much connected with Epstein. Very much connected with the president, who is also very much connected with Epstein.
Yep, they're all in bed together, dog.
Yeah.
They're all running the same script. They've all been at the same casting class and on the same casting couch.
Yep.
They're doing the thing because they're all blackmailed together, dude.
Yeah, so
birds of a feather.
We're letting people that have not even a shred of the same beliefs, morals, or goals in mind for humanity as humanity.
Lead us.
And we're letting them lead us. It's fucked.
It's so fucked.
Why are they allowed to be, let alone fucking lead us?
Yeah.
They should be in prison. Supervillains. This is supervillains.
We've been hyper just
like
docilized.
You'd think that
domesticated
with, the billions in their wealth pool, like the billions that exist, the trillionaires that there are, the elite wealthy, that out of all of them, there'd be some supervillains, right? Like some legitimate supervillains. Like somebody would be making a doomsday weapon. Somebody would be trying to take control of the world, right? Like it instead of just a bunch of prick ass rich people. Like the way that it's treated, the way that everybody responds to it, the way that everybody talks about it is like, oh, these fuckers with millions of dollars could do a lot more with their money, but they don't. Or, yeah, like these big companies are poisoning us, but it's just so that they can make more money. And it's because the poison's addictive and it's cheap, But really, it's like, where's your understanding that out of all of these people, somebody's got to be a supervillain, right? Probably most of them are supervillains. You don't get to be that level of a person without being a little bit of a supervillain. And what do I mean by that? But that their goals are to take over the world, destroy humanity,
world domination.
Wreak evil and mayhem. Like what do supervillains do? But just that, like
chaos.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what they all are. They're all supervillains. They are trying to kill us. They are building weapons of mass destruction. They are trying to take over the world.
That's the problem with power, is that it corrupts.
Yeah.
And people that seek power at a level like that are not normal human beings, period. Yeah. There's a reason back with the founding fathers, they were like elevated by the people. The people actually were like, no, you need to be in. And they didn't even want to do the fucking job.
I don't know
they
if
just did some shit in their communities, and then people were like, come on, dude. Go freaking do something more because you're freaking badass.
I would need to know more
We don't
about
do that
them
anymore.
because they might have had some connections.
I mean, 100%.
You might do some deep dives, you know, that some of them were fucking ops.
There's the people that don't want power, but embody it because of just they have good leadership.
Yeah.
They have good they're living in it, right? They're living of the word, really. And that like puts them in a leadership position to people. People look up to them. But then there's people that just want power because they want to fuck people up.
Yeah.
They actually they want to fuck people up, and they want to secure everything for themselves. Fuck everybody else. They're stepping stones.
Yep.
They're peons, they're cattle. They're people to be led into work so that they can feed me cash. And so I can live my life.
They literally believe they're a higher class, a better type of person, that we're literally cattle. We're below them. We're beneath them. We're subhuman.
Yeah,
all right.
for sure.
This video that you sent.
Yeah, this one ties right in. We start talking about vampires and shit. This guy, he draws some good conclusions with it.
I need audio.
The elites are being called a predator class now? I don't think that fits. Okay, let's change the subject to mythology. In vampiric myth, they cannot feed on your blood until you invite them into your house. So, vampires depend on trickery. Trick or treat indeed. This lore can be equated to the ramifications of temptation. You enjoy the treat that is instant here and now, but then come to find out the candy, carnal pleasures, were a trick, and you're the one being fed upon. Both parasites and demonic possession are introduced in the same way. They're limited to the same set of rules. Invitation through naivety, because ignorance is what sin is. How interesting is it that both vampires and parasites are deathly afraid of garlic, clove, sunlight, silver and copper, and what's the other thing that they fear? Oh, that's right. A good old-fashioned crucifix. Demonic possession has a long mythic history. As long as men have been on 2 feet, certain ones have succumbed to being completely subjugated by sheer negative energy, loosely called evil. Similar to trickery, the demon chooses his host based on his being weak. As the collective dream of all mankind, mythology cannot lie. The reason a man, any man at all, with absolutely no exceptions, is apt to let evil enter his heart to conduct deeds of ill intent on purpose is because he is weak, frail, and pathetic. We are not talking about theft here. This has nothing to do with survival, to kill or be killed. That's not what evil is concerned with. Evil yearns to harm others in an attempt to make others just as weak and pathetic. Every rape and molestation, all the way to a CEO who stashes his already plump pocket by cutting off his employees' means to afford a living, all fall under the same umbrella: weakness and a desperate lack of character. Vampires don't appear in mirrors. This equates to the parasitical men. Looking in the mirror brings them shame and disgust, as well as it should. But instead of having the courage to face that inner turmoil to alchemize it properly, they spill it out onto others by harming and taking from them. Not to gain anything for themselves, but just and only to bring others down to their subhuman parasitical level. If these weaklings band together secretly as a parasite class, they would be able to take over in the same way as all of the above do. Invitation through ignorance. Hey, you know, this short form content is kind of for the birds.
Yeah, this guy is freaking cool. He's got some good videos. I just found out about him doing research for this stuff, but
check him out.
That is so perfect, truly. Like that idea of bridging vampires. I know. I understand.
Alex Jones did it first.
Yeah. With
extra dimensional
parasites
blood sucking vampires.
Mhm.
Extra. What do you say? Energy sucking, soul sucking, something like that.
Yeah.
Alex Jones said it first.
That's been a thing that's been. I mean, he's the one that's the loudest that said it. most notably, but that idea has been a long held thing.
Yeah, where do you think vampire comes from?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like, you could say, just very basely without going any woo-woo at all, that like the vampire myth comes from a writer, say, of a lower class of person, a common folk, if you will, that the local landlord, the local feudal lord, the local baron, whatever, the guy that ran the town, the richest person in town, the highest person in town, for some reason, he had some weird stories about him, right? So this writer in their life, they extrapolated that. They were hyperbole or hyperbolic, I should have said. They were hyperbolic in their retelling of this characterization of that person and made him into this monster, right? Like, that's how you could simplify it. But, like, there's a reason. There's a reason, because vampires aren't just, oh, here was the one guy that invented the vampire. No, it was a myth and a lore that was prolific over time and space, like over all these different regions and all these different times. The story of the vampire comes back in different shapes and forms.
It's so weird too, dude, because it comes back very often. Like, there's phases where vampires and the idea of such, they'll kind of be asleep for a little while. And then all of a sudden it's like in the public zeitgeist again, here we go, just randomly popping up again. Right. Just everybody just starts thinking about vampires again and starts like musing about the idea behind them and the history of them and implications and all of it.
But now, because of media and TV and these freaking romance spin-offs with the vampire, like, nobody can think of a vampire in any other way than what it's been presented to.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Like, the way that we've been presented the vampire, I should have said, is the only way people are able to see it. So, like, to broaden, again, like, throw out the definition, let's broaden the scope of the word vampire. Like, what does Alex Jones mean when he says extra-dimensional vampire is what the elite class is? Like, what is this guy saying when he says that's what they are? Like,
demonically possessed.
Yeah, you are either demonically possessed and you are siphoning off people's energy and, like, goodwill and positive vibes because you are so down and so negative. You need to bring people down with you.
Parasitic in nature.
Yeah. Or you follow something like that.
I think that's like just I truly believe that sin in its very essence is the essence that underlies all of that. And like when you align yourself with sin, like knowingly, intentionally, willingly, you are aligning with that which is sin. It's what you get. It's what happens.
Yeah.
It's literally like you will just embody what it means to be a vampire. Like, I'm not saying that if you want to be a vampire, go be a crazy sinner and hail Satan, you know, like, I mean, that is what you would do, but don't do that because it's fucking crazy. But yeah, I think truly that's how it's all birthed into the world, is through sin. That is the portal through which all of that shit operates.
Right.
And it builds, it organizes, it moves, it has agency, it has dominion even. And it's because it's tapped into people. It's tapped into us, and like we are a divine creation. So it piggybacks. It's parasitic in nature. Sin is parasitic in nature. It's vampiric in nature. It's like you want to know what happens when you're a shitty bad kid forever? That's it. You turn into a fucking parasite. A fucking worm. A blood-sucking worm. Interdimensional.
So,
Andrea.
A question people might have is, how did people have an idea of this before the Epstein thing? You know, before all the recent scandals in the last few years, how did anybody have an idea of any of this conspiracy shit? let's hear about John McAfee.
Yeah. This dude was so badass. He was fucked up, but he was great too.
A lot of you guys probably have never heard of him, but if you were anywhere near a computer in the 2000s, you could not help but see his name. In 1986, McAfee learned about the very first computer virus, and like everything else in McAfee's life, he was always looking 2 steps ahead. McAfee created the very first commercial antivirus software. By 2010, he was an $80 million tech pioneer, and back then, that was like Zuckerberg status. He was one of the first tech oligarchs. Something clicked in him, making him believe he could create a world-changing antibiotic. He hired a team of elite microbiologists and built a jungle laboratory in Belize. But what he didn't realize was the stranglehold that Israel has on most of the world, and especially the country of Belize. Their country gets all of their weapons, spy tech, and military training only from Israel. An Israeli-trained SWAT team raided his laboratory after he refused to pay millions of dollars to certain politicians. They destroyed the lab, shot his dog, and then framed him as this drug kingpin, like a freaking tech oligarch needs to start selling meth. He went to war. He got a handful of beautiful Belizean women to court 75 low-level politicians. These women were able to gift these politicians with laptops. Every laptop was bugged. Now McAfee had blackmail that the world would never believe. He was forced to flee Belize. He spent 8 years in international waters. While attempting to board a flight to Turkey, he was captured by Interpol. A bogus U.S. tax evasion warrant popped up. He was said to be extradited to the U.S. He was sent there. It was a death sentence. He got a tattoo of whacked on his arm, stating, "If they ever say I offed myself, do not believe it." His wife even tweeted, begging the U.S. people to help because she knew the government was trying to get him. 5 days after that tweet, they found McAfee hung in his jail cell. McAfee was making phone calls earlier that day, calling his wife, telling her, "I love you, I'll call you in the evening," working on his appeal. McAfee tweeted that he had 31 terabytes of this blackmail in a condo at a certain address. Less than 24 hours after his death, that massive condo building collapses out of nowhere. A huge condo residence falls in Florida. Who takes control of Ground Zero? Israeli Defense Force. Engineers were waiting for the green light to get their own hands on the remains of this building. Less than 3 weeks later, local officials blew up the rest of the building. The true
You cannot write a movie script better than that.
Right.
You can't, dog.
Why?
Other than maybe like the Bible or whatever. But like,
Literally-
dog, that is it.
Literally, first responders were told not to respond because the Israeli Defense Force was going to take care of that collapsed building. They collapsed the building because he had backup files there of things
They killed
that he
90
hacked.
people.
Yeah.
90 people died
Yeah.
to get rid of his dead man switch.
Yeah. He had information that was to go out that he had hacked off of high-ranking politicians and powerful people's laptops. He just gifted.
That was why he was alive.
Yeah. No, this is some spy shit. This is some 007, like real-life spy shit.
That guy is a hero.
Yeah. Remember you used to use McAfee? Everybody used to bitch about McAfee back in the day. I don't know if anybody actually used it. I was in like computer classes back in the day, so we did actually use it. But even back then, like we were hearing about this as it was happening because we were using his program. Like McAfee was everywhere. It was the biggest security program. And it's like, oh, what's happening to this guy? Holy shit. Like,
I would also really like to clarify because this guy in the video, I'm fucking pretty John McAfee leaning, but I'm not going to bullshit you. When they found that lab in Belize that he was trying to create this new antibiotic.
Oh, yeah.
He was making drugs too, dude. He talked about it.
Yeah, he's not.
He talked about it.
He's not a hero.
Like, out of his mouth. He was making crystal meth.
Yeah.
He wasn't selling it. He didn't need to sell it. He was making it for his own consumption and to dope up the chicks that he was hanging out with.
Yeah.
And then he sends these chicks out to spy on high-ranking government and fucking evil fucks.
He's
and
doing
then plant
Epstein
bugs.
shit. That's Epstein shit.
Dog. Except anti. He's anti them. He was for us, dog. He was for like common folk.
Right.
Like that is people are like, where's our Batman?
Where's Batman?
Our fucking superhero, dog? Where is he? That was one of them. And he gets called a fucking drug addict and then killed and then defamed. And nobody, the history books, as far as the official fucking source talks about, will never utter his name. It'll only live in local legends. And that's what it's going to be. He's a local legend, dog. And it's because he was a fucking superhero that the fucking system was like, erase. Erase it.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Control, Alt, Delete John McAfee. That fucking bastard.
Yeah.
No, dude. It would actually be kind of cool to have like a party.
McAfee didn't kill himself. Let's
dude,
just say that.
Bro he lived a life, dude. He lived a fucking life.
All right, maybe our last video, and then we can try to go through some comments.
Yeah.
This one that you had.
This one's kind of long-winded, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This guy he's nuts, by the way. This man's like a scholar that's just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I've been seeing a lot of his videos, but he goes deep. And sometimes some of the shit he's going on about, it's like, okay, bro, I feel like you're just writing this shit just to write it. Like, just because you have a schizo mind. Dude, I do the same shit.
Yeah.
I do the same shit. Where I've got a schizo mind. I could write crazy shit.
Sometimes I think, like, when people are like that they're just using AI, and they're having big scripts printed up for them in seconds, and they're just going off of that.
Maybe. I don't know, though, dude.
I'll see if I get that
I don't need
vibe.
none of that.
I haven't seen this yet, so I'll see if I get that vibe.
Power, most simply, is the ability to cause an effect. However, everybody can do this. In fact, that is our main problem, that we are stuck in the cycle of causation. This is why wars never end, because we are stuck in the endless wheel of retribution. From the first drop of blood, we created a debt that we could never forgive amongst ourselves. So we liquidate much in the process to cover it up. Thus, the life of man is war on earth, and all of our power is reduced via the conservation of momentum and Newton's third law to a pissy sort of tug-and-war, in which we are all exerting a tremendous force, working up a great sweat, drawing blood. However, the distance of the knot never changes, and given that distance equals 0, and power is force times the distance over time, power is also 0. Though many kill and are killed in our efforts, we all remain utterly powerless. Thus, the only true power remains with the Creator, Aristotle's unmoved mover, the being who set it all in motion but remained unmoved himself, because all force and distance is based off his datum. Thus, the present is set. How does one attain any real power, power like only the Creator has? They would need to perform an action that could never be reacted against them. They would have to transcend causation by doing something that could never be done to them. Power is the ability to do unto others as they cannot do unto you. This is the only way to budge the knot in the rope. And in fact, this is the antidotal advice for mere humans, that in order to halt the fatal tit for tat, one should follow the golden rule, or as Christ puts it, to do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Because what you do unto others is what you do unto yourself. This is karma. Sin creates debts you have to pay. This is why it is called inequity. This is why Christ says those who live by the sword die by the sword, because they do. When you slay another in the heat of passion, you may as well lob your own head off to save some time. And this is also why Christ had to sacrifice himself, for this was his mission, to break the cycle. It is mine to avenge, he says. He takes the causal responsibility away, and how does he avenge? He does unto others as they could never do unto him. Because recall, this is power, at least as we mean power, for power is not the ability to just cause an effect, but to cause an effect that cannot be caused back onto you, to escape effect, to rise above causation, to be free from the consequences of karma. Recall, who is powerful then? He who does unto others what cannot be done unto himself. This establishes two classes of men, the tyrant and the martyr. The tyrant in his power performs cruelty against others and remains immune from it. He calls for massacres from his banquet hall. Thus his karma is non-zero but deficient. This is universal crime. He must be reduced and repossessed. Sin is a debt and all debts must be paid. He cannot escape this cycle. The martyr, on the other hand, performs kindness and is met with murder. He calls for friendship and is met with assassination instead. His karma is also unequal, but he is replete, and thus he achieves life everlasting. The scales always balance out in the end. Death is the great equalizer, and even neglecting the afterlife, we can comment on the material world after the death of each of these types, and we are forced to agree with Kierkegaard. When the tyrant dies, his reign ends. When the martyr dies, his reign begins. Thus tyrants face eternal infamy, and martyrs immortality. So with these metaphysics in mind, who is the one who has the greatest claim to immortality? It would be the one who performed the greatest act of forgiveness while needing no forgiveness for himself due to his own blamelessness. The true immortal would forgive the world as it killed him for being perfect. It is this being who would truly be all-powerful, that is, he would be omnipotent. Thus, I say the crucifixion of Christ is undoubtedly the most consequential moment of all human history. Mathematically, it sets man free from the wheel of vengeance. It uprights everything which human nature in its causal pride and appetites laid to waste and aside and still does. It's as simple as any classical equation, Newton's second law, the Pythagorean theorem. In fact, those pale in comparison to the elegance and simplicity of this brutal computation. I find it more scientific than science itself.
Hey, freaking men, preach, dude.
So,
like, that is very, very. That's a high level freaking understanding of it right there.
Yeah, we just lost most of our audience because that guy just dropped everything at a rapid pace. That was one-time speed. That was not sped up.
Yeah, he has to speed it up because it's so much.
Spitting. So
yeah, dude, he's nuts.
Basically, what he just did was extrapolate all of the concepts that make up what a good person would be, essentially. Like, what is the best person? And then proved that all is Jesus. Like, Jesus embodied all of those things where nobody else can. And that, from what I got, that was pretty quick. What I got was that's what he was saying. Right? Did I miss anything? Like,
he was talking about the dynamics of power.
If you were,
and like this idea of like power is it's an equation. It's an equation. Force, fucking blah blah blah. He does this equation on there to kind of demonstrate that like in order to have power, you have to be able to do something to others that
they can't
be done back to you.
Right.
You beat the system. So power is to have dominion over a system. So if you're part of the system, then you don't have power. If you're beyond that system, if you have broken through, then you have power over those that are within the system. Yeah. And so Christ in his sacrifice did that. He was the only being ever in existence to even do the thing, dude.
Right.
Like ever. Like in any theology, even his example is like perfection. It's freaking nuts. It's absolutely insane. And like that idea gets hijacked though. So like you can also go with like the elites and what they're doing, you know, like they don't have power unless like we kind of give it to them. But at the same time, what is power? Like, why do we all pay taxes? Why do we obey traffic laws? Why do we not go slap the shit out of our meth head neighbors?
Yeah.
Like, why don't we go...
Or even just the victimless crime, like you're saying. Like,
crazy people. Like, why aren't we doing this shit?
Yeah.
Because there is a threat of superior violence against us.
Right. Something being done unto us that we cannot do.
That we can't do to anyone else.
Right.
That's power. That's power.
Yeah.
In the most simplest and easy to understand way of putting it, that's power. And that's what he's saying in here. And then he's also saying Jesus is it. Yeah. Literally and like scientifically and mathematically.
Yeah, the most powerful.
I can show you that this is it.
And the way in which he just presented it though is like art. It's like it's almost like he wasn't even trying to make his point because it was so convoluted, right? And not convoluted. Sorry, he was very clear and articulate. He was fast and hard to understand, and everything that he put up was very quick and distracting. And his verbiage and the way that he spoke and his editing was very deep and like philosophical and poetic. Even that, like the whole thing was like a poem. Almost. It was like the whole. It was like the whole thing was like.
That's all of his videos for the most part. Like some of them, as I was saying, they kind of fall on you a little bit, just because like it almost feels like he's just almost too smart for his own good sometimes. So he sees things where maybe things shouldn't be seen, but he still puts it down, and it's just because it's kind of a flex. But he also knows that he's got gold in there, and so it's like I gotta just let it all go out because some of it's gold. But I also like flexing. That's what it is. It's what it is. And I'm all about it, dude. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that because, I mean, the gold that you give people is a multiplicative factor. As soon as somebody gets gold, it's kind of unlimited how much good that could really do. You know?
No.
You could give the right person the right information at the right time, and it could really have an impact. And so that's why I think that kind of like the front lines of this whole war is here. It's here with us. It's here on Shepherd's Pie. It's here in your house with your family. It's in your own actions and decisions and your own struggles with your flesh, with temptation, with your past, your future, your whatever situations you're in. It's always going to be a little bit of a spiritual war, but yeah, I mean, man, this is what it's all about. Is that we got to get karate stance and just fucking go to war. Let's go to war. It's what we were made for, really.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, with that, we're gonna end it there. So
find us on all the things.
All the things.
I'm
not gonna tell you this time. Maybe
Spotify.
Oh,
Spotify.
Tommy's gonna tell you. Spotify. What else we got?
Facebook.
No,
podcasts.
Nah, fuck it. You know the deal.
Email us at Shepherd's Pie Podcast.
Support your boys. We love you
gmail.com.
guys for making it this far. We love you.
Send us videos.
Yeah, we'll do this again.
If
If you like
you
this, send us some videos. I get too many.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're gonna send them. We'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah, I don't care. Send I might have to open up a Discord.
We'll get a Discord.
I'm gonna have to figure that out.
See you guys.
Peace.
Start over. You went nuts on an episode or on a comment? Somebody's in a video. You went nuts on somebody's comments.
Yes. Yes. Kind of.
Take it from the top.
Dude. Can't do this shit to me. Yeah, the guy was literally talking in the video about can't even remember now, dude. You got me fucked up. I was talking it, and then you were like, and it's like, fuck.
You said you were talking mad shit to somebody in their comments.
Yeah, and there's heaven on earth is what the person was commenting. But I'm trying to figure out what the fucking video was about. It was just some conspiracy video. You know that one dude who's got the mustache and like the hair and like talks like this and fucking we're in the biblical end times and
no, I don't know.
You know that fucking guy, dude, and aliens and extraterrestrials. And he sits there and he's got his little fucking mustache and like kind of like the little soul patch thing, but then he's got the hair. It's dark hair and shit. He looks like some like fucking I don't even know, dude. Well, you gotta, dude. I don't think he's the one. I think he's one of the guys you don't like or something.
Oh, the little squirrely guy.
Yeah, little squirrely guy. What the fuck just happened?
Just put out that AI video that I hated really bad.
There we go. Yeah. And so he's talking about some fucking shit and about the elite and how they're kind of fucked up. They're doing some shit and like we're on track for some shit. And then there's someone in the bottom in the comments that's like, "Oh, and we could have heaven on earth." But blah blah blah. And I'm like,
yeah, we're not
could we though? Could we really have heaven on earth? Because I don't think
it's not time for
that's
that.
a thing, dude.
That's part of the
I don't think that's
Revelations.
ever a thing. I don't think that's
it's part of Revelations.
Jesus will give the heaven on earth, but human beings, we will never achieve it ever.
Right.
There's no heaven on earth with us, dog. There's none of that. The only path possible for human as we are now, without being completely saved, like in sin being erased from the world that we inhabit, without that being a thing, it will always end the way it's ending right now. Right. It will always, every single fucking time, it will end that way.
Yep.
There's no like, oh, fucking, maybe we could bring heaven on earth. It's like, no, dude, like, I love dreaming. I love dreaming.
Yeah, like
dreaming's
it
fun.
Sounds nice.
It sounds beautiful, but that's bullshit. And it's written in the Bible, and there's only one person that is gonna save anything. And it's not me. It's not a million of us. It's not a billion of us. A trillion of us could not save this fucking world.
Yeah, so anybody trying to make you think it's possible, they're evil.
They just they're not evil.
I'm not saying like the people, but like the entities. Like an entity behind that movement, that's evil.
It's like a pride thing.
Yeah. You're trying to outdo God. And God says he'll make it perfect, and you're like, nope, it's on me. I gotta make it perfect. It's up to humanity. No, it's really not. Like, it's up to you to do your best in this evil world. But like, it's not up to
know Christ, and that's your option for fucking like exiting the Matrix is through Christ. That's your exit, dog. That's your code of ethic, and then eventual escape from this fucking shithole.
And just don't be so weighed down by the suffering that exists, because it's kind of like just meant to be this way. You gotta be witness to it so that you can be testimony in the eternal courtroom. When God calls on you to be witness, you gotta say that you were there to see it and it was evil, you know? I think that's a part of it.
Fucking, I don't know. That shit's fucking been written, right?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us need to testify for the validity of the evil that is here. I think that's like fucking...
Well, God will take people's testimony into account when it comes to whether or not somebody deserves to be in heaven. Like, everybody is worthy of redemption, right? Like, even the most evil fuckers are worthy of redemption. So... according to...
Yeah, then why do we even have to testify for each other? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, because, like, I don't know, according to what I understand, I haven't gotten to this part of the Bible, and it might just be a Catholic thing, but it's like you get up to the pearly gates, essentially, and you, like, other people that have died that are in heaven could be like, oh yeah, he's good shit. Like, you could vouch for people. So, like, if you got nobody to vouch for you, you got a bunch of people against you. I don't know, because I haven't got to that part of the Bible. But, like, that's kind of my idea of it, is that, like, God does take your testimony into account in the afterlife as to, like, what was evil, what was good.
Yeah, I could maybe see that to
because
a degree.
Like, also he's not asking you right here on the earth. He's not asking your dumb human self. He's asking your eternal soul after you've been privy to all of history in the future.
I don't think it's us that he's asking. I think there's like maybe far more exceptional human beings that have died that are like way further like along the path of fucking shit.
Maybe
that they might be actually given the ability to fucking do something like that, but I don't know,
Maybe.
man. I don't know.
I don't know where I get this belief, but I think that we all have like a fraction of the Holy Spirit within us, essentially. Like that's how we're all made in the image of God, as we are all like fractions of God, essentially, filled with the Holy Spirit. So then when you die, your spirit, your essence, your Holy Spirit gets this second experience, this other life, this eternal life, where now you are privy to all of the rest of history, like everything that happens after you die, you get to witness it.
It's the glory of God, really.
You get to know all of the past. You're aware of, heaven and whatever hell is, and the machinations of the demons and angels and God. Like you're privy to all of the information, I believe. And then you get to make decisions then after that. And that's how I think like you're either redeemed. Well, no, because we're all redeemed through Jesus. I think that's how like those who stray away from God are then given a chance to be redeemed again. Is like you become privy to more information, and it's like, all right, well, what do you think now? But in that, what were we talking about?
It's got to be some type of I think that is quite possibly what Earth is supposed to be that
heaven
thing
on,
that
heaven on
fucking
earth.
filters people.
Right.
Like, because there are people that are born that are doing crazy shit and they know and like actively go against God in the kingdom. Like, there's the fallen angels and shit. There's the fucking all of that shit. There is a faction of darkness. So there has to be a way of weeding that out.
Well, so yeah, at that point after you're saved, like your piece of soul, let's call it, is going to heaven. Like you're chosen, you're redeemed, you're on the list. Then Jesus comes back to make heaven on earth. Those souls, I think, do get input, because you are a fraction of God. If you have, or at least you've had a piece of the Holy Spirit within you while you've been experiencing all these things. And so your spirit itself has lived or experienced a higher level of perceiving the universe, essentially. And so it does make sense to me that like God would take your opinion into account.
I don't know, if you make it into heaven, there's a part of me that feels like your opinions aren't really super distinguishable anymore. There's a part of me that feels that way, that you're not really hyper distinguishable, distinguishable if you make it into heaven.
It's like a oneness. To your point, it's like a oneness with God, right?
Yeah, I think that there could be like another layer of illusion where you feel kind of separate in that, but like you don't want to be.
Think of it like this.
You don't want to be separate.
Think of it like this. Like Naruto with his multi-shadow clone jutsu. Just as a bad analogy. When you make this copy of yourself, then when the copy disappears, you know everything the copy learned and experienced. Like you don't get that feedback immediately right away. You get the feedback when the copy disappears and comes back into you. Right? So like if we are all then becoming one with God, then he would certainly take our experiences and our opinions into account, because they would then be a part of him. And like, yeah, there'd be trillions and billions of all the people in all of history and all the little fractions of the souls that he's then reabsorbed into himself, and we're all one with God again, living in heaven. But like, yeah, I think then what we think and experience and feel and our opinions would matter, because we'd be back with God. Deep shit.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I can't claim to know what heaven's gonna be.
No, right? Yeah. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. But that's how
Only thing I do know is that people that are fucking like, what I said too is, I'm like, dude, there is not a family on this planet. There isn't a technology that can be created. There isn't a conquering of death itself wouldn't fucking fix this shit. Nothing's fixing this.
Right. Except
Nothing
for
is
Jesus.
fixing this outside of Christ.
Yeah.
And like, you can have small effect on Earth. You can, but it's going to be like very close people to you. Maybe you do branch out a little bit more and you can fucking have like hundreds, maybe thousands of people
Billions.
fucking like benefit from like goodness from you, but ultimately we all sin. And it's through sin being existent that revelation is written and based upon. It's because of sin that that's happening.
Right.
It's not because of fucking people trying to do good. No, it's because there's an existence of sin. From the moment sin entered man, that's the book of the Bible. That's where the Bible starts. Sin enters man. Man gets kicked the fuck out, and all of this happens, and then finally, your guys' sin will fucking hit a point, and it's gonna trigger a fucking Christ coming back and fucking wiping the slate clean, and then we have heaven on earth. Like,
is this what you told him in the comments?
Yeah, dude, I went so fucking hard. I went so hard. I gave him probably a fucking $20 fucking like narration tip.
So this is all gonna be like a post.
I should get
episode.
charged.
This is gonna be another post episode clip, like in that last episode. Just link.
I should get charged.
Link this episode in the comment. Go back to that comment and just tag this episode so he can hear us talking about him. You should get charged with what?
Well, not me charged, but I should charge them. I should charge the internet to speak. I really should.
You should run
charge
our
the
TikTok.
fucking internet.
You should do more TikTok, or not TikTok, Twitter. You should do more Twitter stuff because that is you getting us paid to talk.
I don't know why people talk on the internet and don't get paid. I don't get it.
You could have one of the most prolific TikTok, or fuck, I keep saying TikTok Twitters. If you were just on our Twitter fucking blowing people up about stupid shit, you could have us so much attention, I think.
Maybe like just doing that and then making a video about it immediately and then just posting a video. And then people that I fucking talk to, they'll be like, what the fuck? And they'll look on my shit and then they'll see I fucking had a video about them. And then it's just like
one that starts to get any sort of traction, we could do a video about it. Make it
Dude,
get
I
more
just
attention.
rage bait the world.
All right, let's start this shit up.
That would be so fucking... Dude, that might be a fucking series.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's funny. That's so fucking funny.